Hi. Never mind. Do you remember this? If you're a longtime subscriber, chances are you do. If you're a new subscriber, and there's been a lot of you new people here since I last posted about this is my Citroen C6. I've had this car for the better part of 2 years now, and the last time I made a video about it, I told you that I was planning to get rid of it. As you can probably tell, I haven't been able to do that, because nobody wants this freaking car. There are a few reasons for that, which I will explain, but because there's a new plan for this car now, and because I haven't given you an update since January of 2025, I'm going to do that now. One thing I do want to mention is, if you're not up to speed with my Citroen C6 ownership experience, there will be cards here in the corner and in the description below. So, the last time I made a video about this car, a few things have happened. I got very close to selling it before I was lowballed for a ridiculous amount of money, and the person interested in the car said something that crossed every possible boundary you can think of. I'm not going to go into details because I'll just get pissed off, but that's what happened. The registration expired, and the battery is now officially and completely dead. That's why I don't have the key with me, because the car's unlocked and it won't start anyway. And it's been sitting here in my driveway pretty much unmoved, except for one time when we successfully managed to jumpstart the car using a battery from an Alpha 147. It's been sitting in my driveway motionless since last summer. That's summer of 2025, and it's the end of May 26 when I'm filming this. So not really setting a great example of how to own a car, much less how to own a luxury car like this. But regardless, there's a new plan for this car that I will tell you. But first, let's have a look at the state of affairs here. So obviously, you probably noticed by now that it's very dirty. As Rocky would say, dirty, dirty, dirty. The headlights are starting to get a little faded. That needs a bit of polish work. There's a lot of buildup of dust and rain and, paws from that kitten you saw at the beginning of the video taking a nap on the hood or on the roof. And there's a bunch of disgusting spider webs everywhere, which I will not get up close to because you don't need to see that. The license plate was always bent, I should say. It was always like that. More spider webs around the wheels. I'm surprised these tires still have air in them. There you go, the car's unlocked, the mirrors are unfolded. And it's generally not in the best of shape, if I do say so myself. The reason why I'm speaking so quietly, by the way, is because I don't want my neighbors to hear me. I will feel very embarrassed. And there's this big crack here on the roof that was always there, but we need to sort that out as well. Now, you might have not noticed this, but I will now demonstrate. The trunk is not closed fully, and there's a very good reason for that. First, let me show you the absolute mess that's going on in the trunk. Those are cables from that little power bank thing that I had that also acted as a jump starter because it died, and it's practically useless now. Tools, and all the carpeting, as you can see, has been mutilated while we've tried to get this battery to do anything at all, and it's still not. It is, in essence, dead, and well, one of the terminals is disconnected. Here's, by the way, an excellent jerry-rig solution. If your trunk has to stay open at all times, you just stuff the latch here with a bunch of packing tape or whatever this is. Here's the roll of packing tape. I only just noticed that. And a fuse and a piece of plastic that contains the trunk illumination, because that normally goes on one of these carpeted panels. We had to get rid of that to get access to the battery. You're probably wondering why the trunk is not fully closed. Well, the Citroen C6 has an electronic trunk release. And what that means is, if your relay that releases the trunk door is busted, like mine is, if you have a quick disconnect switch thing on the battery terminal, you can't get into the back at all. What I had to do was, first of all, this happened once. I disconnected the battery through the quick release thing, and then the next day I wanted to see if I can start the car. So I woke up, I tried to unlock the door using the key, something like that, and then I remembered that in order for you to open the door, the window has to come down, and that means that the battery has to be connected. And I kind of busted this window. It's not broken, but it doesn't really want to close all the way. But the last time I tried to start the car, I did roll it down a little bit so I can actually open the door. Can't open the rear doors though, because that'll mess up those windows. Then I read somewhere, whether it was the owner's manual or the Citroen C6 owner's forum, that when you disconnect the battery to put the car in storage or whatever, trunk must be partially open and all the windows have to be rolled down. And I can't have the windows rolled all the way down because it's in my driveway in the open, not in a garage, because it doesn't fit my garage. So that was exciting. And then there's the best part. Because I couldn't open the trunk, I had to fold down the rear seat and sort of finagle my way into the trunk from the back seats so I can sort of reconnect the battery terminal or untwist the quick release thing. It's a good thing that my C6 doesn't have the presidential pack seats, because those don't fold down at all. So if the battery dies on that, that's it. You're probably not gonna get back in. Anyway, let us very carefully and gently lay the trunk closed, if that's how you say it. All of the clear coat has wiped off from this particular piece here, the trunk lid and the active arrow. But the rest of the clear coat seems to be in fine shape, I guess. Again, I'm amazed the tires still have air in them. A lot of people on my short that I posted about this car tore me a new butthole that I should gently open the door so the window has time to roll down. And I know this, I was just trying to do a funny for the video by yanking on the door. That time I didn't actually mess up the door, so there's something to keep in mind. The interior, oh my god, it's hot in here. The interior has stayed basically the same. There's not much different about it. It's not really all that dirty, all things considered. There's some crap there in the footwell. Everything else is perfectly serviceable. Oh yeah, I managed to break this cup holder. It won't close anymore. Oh, now it wants to close. Okay. Last time when I was messing around with the car trying to get it to start, I pushed this cup holder open, and then it refused to close for some reason. But now suddenly it wants to close. Is it because of the heat loosening up the plastic? I have no idea. And yes, the glove box lid still falls off. I'm not going to demonstrate that, but it does do that. Everything else is the same, and it smells like the summer of 2024 in here, when this was effectively my only road trip car. So, now that you're up to speed on... Oh yeah, the driver's door still doesn't stay open. There's something wrong with the hinges, I think. And I also need to mention... Yes. I also need to mention that the car has sat here unregistered for about a year, which means that in order to get a registration renewal, I have to tow it to the inspection center, to the DMV, or however you call it locally. And yes, by the way, that part of that front grille, that grid back there, is held in by zip ties. That's something my dad did. Good luck getting those zip ties off now. So, what's the plan with the C6? The answer is, we're going to bring it back to life. I have not been able to sell this car because the thing you need to... First of all, the thing you need to understand about selling a car like this in Macedonia, nobody wants to buy it off you in non-working order, which it is in right now, because nobody here is going to bring an F-250 and a gooseneck trailer to tow it back home. They want a car in working order. The other thing is, nobody wanted it for the price I was offering at, which I thought personally was a pretty okay price, given that there's nothing actually wrong with the car except the dead battery and some of the occasional starting issues that it used to have. I understand that's not a small issue, but before the battery started showing signs of weakness, despite the slow starting, it would start every time, pretty much. But the other thing you need to understand is, nobody wants this type of vehicle here. There's very few people who are crazy enough to actually buy and maintain and own a Citroen C6. Most people will just opt for an old 7 Series or an A8 or even an S-Class from around the same time, or maybe before that. And put all those things together, and you have not being able to sell the car for not over 2 years, but almost 2 years. And because I haven't had it registered, and because we didn't know what to do with it, it was just sitting in my driveway while we sort of weighed out all the options. And the best option is rather to bring it back to life. My dad is retiring in a couple of years, and he told me, he works abroad, and he said that when he gets back here, he wants to have a cruiser, a big sort of sedan like this, and he wants to have the C6 for himself, so effectively we'll be prepping the C6 for him when he gets back. But obviously I will be still driving it, and you will still see videos about it on the channel, hopefully. And the plan is to give it a good wash and maybe fix the clear coat and some of the paint issues. New battery, obviously, registration renewal, oil and filters change, and if anything else major or minor needs repair, we're going to sort that out too. And then the C6 will be part of the regular fleet again. So that's it, really. That's all there is to say about my Citroen C6, the 2026 update. I will see you all soon when this car is, hopefully, back on the road again. All right, that's it. It's hot out here. Bye.